Welcome back to the British Accent Podcast. I'm Nick, and I'm here with Emily.
Hello again, it's lovely to be here. Today's episode is one I think every English learner needs to hear. How to feel proud of your English, even if it's not perfect yet.
Yeah, this is a big one. So many learners focus so much on what they can't do yet, or what still needs improving, that they forget how far they've already come.
Exactly. And that's the problem, isn't it? We spend so much time chasing progress that we forget to pause and say, hey, I've done something really difficult here.
Learning a language is no small thing. It takes time, patience, and a lot of courage. And just because your grammar isn't spotless or your pronunciation still a bit shaky doesn't mean you're not doing something amazing.
I always say to my students, you're already doing what most people never even try. You're communicating in a second language, that's massive. You should be proud of that, not embarrassed.
Totally. And I think the idea of perfection really gets in the way. People think, I'll be proud once I sound fluent, or I'll feel confident when I stop making mistakes. But the truth is, that mindset never ends.
It doesn't. There's always something else to fix, some word you don't know, some native speaker who sounds better. But that's why it's so important to find pride in the process, not just the final result.
Right. It's like going to the gym and refusing to feel good about your progress until you're an Olympic athlete. It doesn't make sense. Celebrate the fact that you're in the gym, that you're showing up.
And honestly, the more you allow yourself to feel proud now, the more motivated you become. Pride builds confidence, and confidence helps you learn faster. It's all connected.
It really is. I remember speaking with a student who said, I only speak when I'm sure I'll get it right. And I told him, if you wait until it's perfect, you'll never speak. But if you're proud of trying, even when it's messy, that's where real learning begins.
So true. And the thing is, mistakes don't cancel out your progress. You can make 100 small errors, and still be doing something extraordinary. Progress isn't clean, it's full of detours and stumbles. But it still counts.
And another thing, if you're waiting for other people to tell you when to be proud, you'll be waiting forever. Sometimes you have to be the one to say, yes, I made that sentence. I spoke up. I understood that film. That was me, and I'm proud of it.
Yes. And even small wins matter, like ordering coffee in English, writing an email, or understanding a podcast without subtitles. Those moments are not small. They are proof that your English is alive in the real world.
Exactly. And it's okay if it's not perfect yet, it doesn't have to be. The fact that you're communicating across languages is already something to stand tall about.
So if no one said it to you today, you're doing well. You've come further than you think. And your English, even with all its imperfections, is worth being proud of.
That's it, really. And you know what else? Pride doesn't mean you're saying, I'm done learning. It just means you're honoring the work you've already put in. You can be proud and still want to grow, the two things go hand in hand.
Absolutely. It's like saying, I love where I am, and I'm excited to see where I'm going. You don't need to choose between progress and self-acceptance. You deserve both.
And I think sometimes people feel a bit awkward saying they're proud of themselves. Like it's arrogant or something. But it's not. It's just being fair to yourself, recognizing effort, not just results.
Yes. If a friend told you they'd been learning a language for a year, you'd probably say, that's amazing. But we rarely say that to ourselves. We downplay it, oh, I'm still not that good. But that's not helping anyone.
Exactly. And it's not just about grammar or vocabulary. It's about showing up to your English class when you're tired. It's about pushing through the moments when you feel stuck. That's resilience. That's worth celebrating.
And don't wait for some perfect version of yourself before you allow pride in. If you're speaking English, even with pauses, even with mistakes. That's already something powerful. Don't ignore it.
I've met learners who say, but my English is basic. And I always say, basic for who? If you can express yourself, connect with others, ask for help, tell your story, that's not basic. That's brave.
It really is. And fluency doesn't mean without error. It means you keep going. You keep speaking even when it's messy. You figure things out as you go. That's real-world communication.
And the most fluent people I know aren't afraid of making a mistake in front of others. Because they've learned it's not about avoiding mistakes, it's about not letting them stop you.
You don't need perfect English to be understood. And you don't need perfect English to be proud. What you need is perspective. Remind yourself how far you've come since day one.
And not just with the language itself. Think about the confidence you've gained. The new people you've met. The articles you can read now. The podcasts you can follow. The films you don't need subtitles for anymore.
That's all part of it. Learning English isn't just about speaking. It's about building a life where you can express yourself more freely. That's no small thing.
And if you're doing that, even a little bit, you've got every right to feel proud.
You know, Nick, I think sometimes learners get stuck in this loop of only seeing what they can't do. They notice every word they don't know, every sentence they struggle to form, and they miss all the progress that's already happened.
Yeah, it's like staring at a blank space instead of the picture you've already painted. But the truth is, even if you're not where you want to be yet, you're still so far from where you started.
Exactly. I had a student once who kept saying, I should be better by now. And I asked her, better compared to who? Because really, your journey is yours. No one else started where you did, and no one else has your exact pace.
That's such a good reminder. I think we've all felt that way, like we're falling behind some invisible timeline. But the truth is, language learning isn't a race. There's no finish line. It's more like a path that opens up the more you walk it.
Yes. And just being on that path means something. Every word you've learned, every sentence you've spoken, every moment you've listened and understood, it all adds up. Even when it doesn't feel like it.
And I think we should normalize those quiet victories. You don't have to pass an exam or give a speech to feel proud. Understanding a conversation at the bus stop, replying to a message in English, thinking in English without realizing, those are wins too.
They really are. Sometimes, learners wait for permission to feel proud, like someone needs to give them a certificate that says, you've done enough now. But pride doesn't need to be earned from someone else. It can come from within.
And it should. Because you're the one doing the work. You're the one staying consistent, showing up, making the effort. Even when it's frustrating. Even when it feels slow. That's something to respect in yourself.
And sometimes, you just need to say it out loud. I'm proud of myself. Even if it feels a bit awkward at first. Because the more you practice saying it, the more natural it becomes. And that changes how you see your progress.
And how you speak, too. Because when you're proud, you speak differently. You stop hiding. You stop hesitating. You start owning your words, even if they are not perfect yet.
That's the real goal, isn't it? Not to sound like someone else, but to speak like you, confidently, clearly, and with pride in every word.
And it doesn't matter if you still mix up verb tenses or forget the word for kitchen sponge. The important thing is, you're out there using your English, and that's worth more than any test score.
Yes. So maybe today is a good day to look at how far you've come. Not just what you still want to fix, but what you've already built, word by word, day by day.
And if you're listening to this right now, chances are you care deeply about your English. That alone says so much about your dedication. And that's something to be proud of, today, and every day after.
And it's not just about the language, either. It's about what it represents. Learning English often means stepping into uncomfortable spaces, putting yourself out there, and being okay with not having all the answers right away.
It's vulnerable, isn't it? Speaking in a second language feels a bit like standing in front of a room full of people and saying, "This is me, trying." And that takes guts.
It really does. And I think we sometimes forget how emotionally brave it is. You're not just remembering words, you're managing self-doubt, nerves, and comparison, all while trying to communicate clearly.
That's why it's so important to give yourself credit. Not just for what you've learned, but for every moment you kept going when it would have been easier to stay quiet.
Yes. I had a learner once who told me she cried after ordering food in English for the first time. Not because she got it wrong, but because she finally did it. And she realized, in that moment, how far she'd come.
That really says it all. It's not about getting it perfect, it's about pushing through those small fears. And each time you do that, your confidence grows, bit by bit.
Exactly. And you don't always notice it in the moment, but it's happening. That confidence builds silently. One day you catch yourself chatting away without thinking, and it hits you. I used to be scared to say a single sentence.
It sneaks up on you, doesn't it? That's why tracking small wins is so important. Keeping a little note in your phone, "Today I understood that video without subtitles," or "spoke up in class without freezing." Those add up.
And even better, look back at your old self. Read a journal entry you wrote in English 6 months ago, or think about your very first English conversation. Notice what's changed. That's real, visible progress.
That kind of reflection helps you break out of the "not good enough yet" mindset. Because it shows you, no, actually, you are improving. Just maybe not in ways you always notice day to day.
And sometimes it's not even about more vocabulary or faster grammar. Sometimes it's just that you hesitate less. Or you're less afraid to be wrong. That shift in mindset is just as valuable as any technical skill.
Yeah, because real communication isn't about being perfect, it's about being present. Being willing to show up, share something, and trust that your words matter, even if they are not textbook.
And your words do matter. You don't need permission from anyone to be proud of your English. If you're trying, if you're improving, if you're showing up, you've already done something remarkable.
So the next time that little voice in your head says, "You're still not good enough," maybe ask yourself, compared to what? Because the only real comparison that matters is between you now and you when you started.
And if you look at that honestly, you'll see, you've already come further than you think.
So wherever you are in your English journey right now, take a moment to pause and feel proud. Not just for what you know, but for everything you've faced, overcome, and kept going through.
You're not waiting to be perfect, you're growing, you're trying, and that is more than enough. Be proud of your voice, your effort, and your story.
Thanks for spending this time with us here on the British Accent Podcast. It means a lot to share this space with you.
Keep learning, keep going, and remember, your English doesn't have to be perfect to be powerful.
We'll speak to you again soon. Take care.